Hello everyone, my name is Hussein and today we will be seeing part 4 of chapter 2, which is biological classification. Yes, so in this chapter or in this class we will be seeing kingdom Protista. Okay, and under this topic we will study the different groups which are present in kingdom Protista, their examples, their characteristics and so on. Okay, so Kingdom Protista, first let us look at the general characteristics. It includes all unicellular eukaryotes. Okay, these are similar to the Kingdom Monera, only difference is that the cells are eukaryotic instead of prokaryotic. Okay, these are also unicellular organisms, exclusively unicellular organisms. Okay, so since they are eukaryotic, they have a well-defined nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles are also present. Okay, so organs of locomotion in this group include flagella, cilia, pseudopodia, and based on these organs of locomotion only, your kingdom Protista is divided into 4 groups. Okay, so yes, Protista are primarily aquatic organisms. They are aquatic. They can be seen in freshwater as well as marine, or sometimes even in stagnant water and moist soil as well. But primarily aquatic organisms. Yes. They showcase characteristics similar to plants, animals, and fungi, and that is why we have divided kingdom Protista into plant-like protistants, animal-like protistants, and fungi-like protistants. Okay, these protistants can reproduce sexually as well as asexually with the help of cell fusion and zygote formation, which is sexual reproduction. Okay, so some of the examples of protista are your euglena, which is a plant-like protist. We have unicellular flagellated, has many chloroplasts and can photosynthesize, meaning they are autotrophs. Okay, then we have animals like protozoans, protistants, which are also known as protozoans. Okay, example is amoeba, which is unicellular, moves and feeds using pseudopodia. Okay, then we have diatoms, which is also a plant-like protist. The unicellular cell wall is made up of silica. Okay, and then we have red algae, which is basically indicative towards what you call it, slime molds and your dinoflagellates, but it is not basically into your kingdom Protista. Okay, yes. So classification, as we discussed before, we have plant-like protistants, we have animal-like protistants, we have fungi-like protistants. Okay. Under plant-like protistants, we will discuss 3 groups, which is chrysophytes, which includes mainly your diatoms and your desmids. We have dinoflagellates, and then we have euglenoids. In animal-like protistants, which are also known as protozoans, based on the locomotory organ, we have amoeboid-like protistants, or amoeboid protistants, which use pseudopodia for locomotion. We have flagellated protozoans, we have ciliated protozoans, and we have sporozoans. Okay, and then we have the final group, which is fungi-like protists, which includes slime molds. Okay, so let us start with the first group, which is plant-like protistants, and the first group is chrysophytes. Okay, so they are generally found in aquatic habitats, both freshwater as well as marine environments. Okay, they are microscopic, obviously, because they are single cell organisms, and they float passively in water currents. Okay, so such organisms which float passively in the ocean or in any other water current or water bodies are called as planktons. Okay, yes, you are thinking correctly. These chrysophytes are the ones which are termed as phytoplanktons. Okay, be it in oceans or in aquatic, be it in freshwater bodies. Okay, so most of them are photosynthetic, obviously, because they prepare their own food, and since they are autotrophic or photosynthetic, they have pigments. Here the pigments include chlorophyll A, C, and fucoxanthin. For all 3 groups of plant-like protistants, there are different kinds of pigments. Okay, so for chrysophytes it is chlorophyll A, C, and fucoxanthin. The reserve food material, after they prepare their own food, they store the food material in the form of laminarin starch. Laminarin starch. Example for chrysophytes include diatoms and desmids. Desmids are also known as golden algae. Okay. Yes, the cell wall of these chrysophytes are siliceous, meaning made up of silica, and they overlap each other, as shown in this diagram. Okay, they overlap each other in the form of a soap box. Like a soap box, they overlap each other. Okay, so diatoms, since they are planktons, they are also the also known as the chief producers in the oceans. They are the chief producers or in the oceans. What do you call it? Ecologically. Okay, and then the cell walls are highly resistant to degradation and hence accumulate on the floor of the ocean since billions of years, meaning since they are made up of silica, they do not degrade very easily. Okay, so what happens when a diatom dies or when a desmate dies, the two cell walls just break open and they just settle down at the bottom of the ocean as sand. Okay, such depositions of dead diatoms or dead diatomic cell wall is called as diatomaceous earth. Okay, earth meaning referring to sand. Okay, diatomaceous earth or is also known as kieselguhr. Kieselguhr. It is an important term which comes in Neet repeatedly. Okay, kieselguhr refers to what? Okay, refers to nothing but the dead cell wall of diatoms. Okay, so this kieselguhr is useful to humans in economically. Okay, so they help in polishing, filtration of oils and syrups, in making of syrups and so on. Okay, the next group we come across is dinoflagellates. Okay, these dinoflagellates are mostly marine and they are also photosynthetic. Okay, they may appear in different colors, be it yellow, green, brown, blue, or even red, depending on the main pigment in the cell. Okay, so cell wall has stiff cellulosic plates on the outer surface. Okay, that is why they are also known as armored protistans. Okay, or armored algae because the outer cell wall has cellulosic plates which looks like armor. Okay, so they have two flagella, one running longitudinally and one running transversely. Okay, and these flagella arise from the grooves which are present in the body. Okay, these are the grooves. Okay, these are the grooves where my cursor is pointing. Okay, they are present in the groove or arise from the groove of the body. Okay, or furrow also you can say. Yes, so red dinoflagellates, example Goniolax, undergoes rapid multiplication in the sea so as to appear red. So the sea appears red as shown in the diagram or figure. The sea appears red and this is called as red tides. Okay, red tides, again a very important neat question. Red tide is due to which organism? It is red dinoflagellates. Okay, these red dinoflagellates release toxins. Okay, which are nature wise they are neurotoxins. They are called as saxitoxin. Okay, which kill all the marine organisms like fishes. Okay, example for dinoflagellates include the Noctiluca, Serratium and Goniolax. Okay, Noctiluca, Serratium and Goniolax. Then we have the third group in plant-like protistans, which is euglenoids. Okay, these are different from the previous two in not having a cell wall. Okay, and they also grow in stagnant waters. Okay, unlike your rivers and lakes and what do you call it, oceans, they grow in places where the water does not flow or does not have much movement. Okay, so here, as I mentioned before, they do not have cell wall. Instead of cell wall, a membrane is present, which is very flexible, okay, and rich in protein. This membrane is called pellicle. Okay, it gives flexibility to the body of the euglenoids. Okay, then these also have two flagella, and now this is a tricky part. Okay, as we see in the diagram, there is only one flagella seen, and the second flagella is present inside the cytosol where my cursor is. Okay, so they have one small flagella, and the other flagella, which is present inside the cytosol, is big and elongates outside as a big flagella. There are two flagella, one long flagella and one short flagella. Okay. Nutritionally, they are referred to as mixotrophic organisms, meaning that during the day they have one type of nutrition, and in the absence of light during the night they have another type of nutrition. So during the day, since the light is present, sunlight is present, they are autotrophic. Okay, and in the absence of sunlight during the night, they become heterotrophic. Okay, and they become predators and they predate on smaller organisms like bacteria or even phytoplankton. Okay, so pigments include the same as higher plants. Okay, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and a special type of okay. Here, when I say pigment includes the same as higher plants, I mean by chlorophyll. Okay, here the chlorophyll present is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, just like higher plants, and a special type of pigment is seen here, which is called as astaxanthin. astaxanthin, okay, which is specific to juglenoids. Okay. Reserve food material seen. What is reserve food material? Reserve food material is nothing but when during photosynthesis the food is produced, right? Everything is not utilized. Some of it is stored. So this is stored in the form of paramylon starch. Okay, such stored food material is called as reserve food material. Okay, example is euglena. Example is euglena. Next is fungi like protistans. There is only one group, which is slime molds. Okay, they are saprophytic protists, meaning that they feed on dead and decaying organisms. They are also known as osmotrophs. Osmotrophs is nothing but organisms which feed on organic matter only. Okay, they do not take in the inorganic matter from dead and decaying organisms or from the litter which falls down from the trees. Okay, they only absorb the organic matter and hence help in cycling of the inorganic matter back to the soil for plants to reabsorb them. Okay, your phosphates, your sulfates, and so on. Okay, so during favorable condition, many slime molds, many cells of slime molds come together to form one big slime-like structure which has many nucleus. Okay, so it is cenocytic in nature. Such a structure is called as plasmodium. Okay, and it spreads over several feet. Okay, it spreads over several feet as shown in the figure. The yellow color thing, which is nothing but plasmodium. Okay, and the during unfavorable condition it forms fruiting bodies which produces spores, which is seen in the adjoining diagram. Okay, there are three fruiting bodies. They are normally sporangium. Okay, so during unfavorable condition, plasmodium differentiates and forms fruiting bodies bearing spores at their tips. Okay, so these spores have true walls. True walls meaning that they are made up of cellulose. Okay, they are true cell walls. Okay, and they are highly resistant to external environment, and that is why they are able to survive for many years. Okay, and spores once they are released, they are dispersed by air currents. Okay, so yeah, the life cycle of the slime mold is given. We start with the zygote, which forms a feeding plasmodium, which grows into a larger mature plasmodium. Okay, and this plasmodium can divide and form smaller sclerotia during unfavorable condition again. Okay, so and then it forms fruiting bodies which form young sporangium. It undergoes meiosis. Inside the sporangium there is meiosis taking place, which forms your haploid spores. Okay, that is why N is given. Mature spores are haploid. These spores germinate to form two types of cells. Okay, one is amoeboid cells and the other one is flagellated gametes. The flagellated gamete fuse to form a zygote. Okay, whereas the amoeboid cells also fuse to form gametes. Oh, sorry, zygote. Okay, so there are two types of what do you call it? Germination seen. All right. Yes. Next is animal-like protists. Okay, so next group is animal-like protists. Animal-like protists include your protozoans. Okay, they are heterotroph. Obviously, they either predate or they are parasitic or something like that. Okay, they are primitive relatives of animals. Okay, the first group in that is amoeboid protozoans. Okay, which use pseudopodia as an organ of locomotion. Okay, these live in fresh water, your sea water, or your moist soil. Okay, marine forms, however, they have silica-like shells which covers the amoeboid-like structure. Okay, example are ant amoeba, your normal amoeba, and so on. They are mostly parasites. Okay, they're mostly parasites. An example, also one important question which comes related to ant amoeba is the nucleoid stage. Okay, the infective stage of entamoeba histolytica is a four nucleoid stage. Okay, the second one is flagellated protozoans. These can be free living or parasitic. They have, obviously, as the name suggests, flagella for locomotion. Okay, parasitic forms are generally disease causing. Okay, example is sleeping sickness caused by your trypanosoma. So trypanosoma gambiensis causes African sleeping sickness. Okay, where the victim or the host is put to sleep. Okay, the vector is the CC fly. Okay, which is nothing but the organism which helps in the spread of trypanosoma. Okay, so when when a CC fly comes and bites us, or infects us with trypanosoma, we get African sleeping sickness. Okay, so CC fly acts as a vector. The third group in animal-like protistans is ciliated protozoans. Okay, they are aquatic and they generally move with the help of cilia. Okay, they have a cavity. They have a cavity which opens into the gullet. You can see that there is a cavity here. There is a cavity here, and in the diagram also there is a cavity here. This cavity is called gullet. Okay, which opens into the cell of the organism. Okay, or which opens into the body of the organism. And due to the movement of these cilia move in a wave-like motion, which allows the water to go inside the body of the organism. And this water also contains your food, which can be your bacteria. Okay, so which is ingested by your protestant or your ciliated protestant. Here in this case it is paramecium. Okay, the other figure which is given is nothing but Balantidium coli. Okay, it is nothing but Balantidium coli. An important feature of this group is your dimorphic nucleus. It has two types of nucleus of different sizes. That's why it's called dimorphic. One is bigger in size, called the macronucleus, and the other one is smaller in size, called the micronucleus. The larger nucleus is vegetative in function, whereas the smaller nucleus is sexual in function and takes place in sexual reproduction. Okay, example for this ciliated protozoans is paramecium and Balantidium coli. The final group in protestant is your sporozoan. They have an infectious spore-like stage, okay, in their life. Example is your plasmodium, which causes your malaria. Okay. The other example is Aimeria. Aimeria. Okay. Plasmodium is a causative agent of malaria. The vector which spreads plasmodium is in humans is female Anopheles mosquito. Okay. For different species of plasmodium, it is different types of malaria, and which is spread by different types of vectors. Okay. But for your malaria, your normal malaria, it is female Anopheles mosquito. Okay.